Hello there, and welcome to Babbling
with the boys.
I'm Karst Gervais, and I have just finished watching the third episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I really like it. I like it so far.
Oh my god. Oh. You don't even know how soft my skin feels right now. My name is Spence the Chef, Spencer Fleming Spicy Flem, and there is now excrement in my shorts.
Okay, now we're babbling.
Do it, Roger, do it. Oh, you press record. Okay, so first up, what are we talking about, Carson?
One Night in Miami.
Regina King's directorial debut.
Based on a play of these four titans meeting,
which is I'm pretty sure a fictional event, but I know like these people were in each other's circles.
Actual documented events where it's like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and
they met in Africa. They were in Africa at the same time. I think when Malcolm was going to Mecca. So I know like these, and you know he kind of introduced him into the Nation of Islam and all that.
And the fourth guy is Jimmy Brown.
Football player, yeah.
That's the fourth guy. So it's Sam Cooke, Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X.
So what did we think of this movie? What are your thoughts? How do you feel?
It was so intriguing. The different. I watched Malcolm X. And I watch Who Killed Malcolm X. I think that's what the series is called.
Oh, on Netflix, yeah.
So I knew about the history of Malcolm X and where this fit in that history, about his relations to the Nation of Islam.
What was going... They kind of explain it, but I think it does help to kind of know a little bit of the context.
Yeah.
They briefly touch on it, but it maybe read the book, see the movie, watch documentary, something, because it does help a little bit.
I think partially you might be a little bit confused if you didn't know that. I'd be like, what? You might have to go research a little bit. I don't know why I'm jumping into specifics right off the bat, but as a movie as a whole, the way these characters are introduced and the way they lead into this meeting, I think is great. They have each had their little thing, and the intro of James Brown is such a weird scene. I was just I was just saying that I was like, whoa, what has just happened? It was like, okay, this is chill. It's in Georgia. And then at the end of that scene, when that guy says what he says, and you see this complete change in Jim Brown's face. And you feel the complete change in your face and your attitude.
Yeah, see, for me, I watched this I watched it the first time by myself, and I watched it the second time with my family. And the second time, literally everyone in my family was like, oh, he's gonna say he's not allowed in the house. And we're like, yeah. We all, as soon as I saw him come out, I was like, oh, he's gonna say he's not allowed in that house. And then when they're sitting on the porch, I was like, yeah, he's not allowed in that house. I was like, yeah, I know where this is going. I like that it sets up them separately. They each have their own little introduction. And then I've never seen or read the play, so I don't know if it works like that there. Yeah, but I like that it's oh, this is where they are, and then this is how they come together.
And they have these really deep conversations about what it means to be part of the civil rights movement.
Yeah. Oh man. I was expecting I forget the actor's name, but I was expecting whoever played Cassius to steal the show. But really, this is Sam Cooke's show, baby. What's that actor's name?
Oh, Leslie Odom Jr. Okay,
yeah,
Leslie Odom
Jr.
Jr.
I'm pretty sure. He's a singer.
He's in Hamilton. He plays Aaron Burr.
Yes, he is. Yes,
he plays Aaron Burr.
Yes. No, he killed it this movie.
Oh my gosh. He is I want to see him in everything. I want to see Leslie Odom Jr. just take over the world. love his singing. I love his acting. And I thought, because I saw him in Hamilton, the way he expresses when he's singing, I'm kind of like, that feels kind of like theater acting, like very bombastic. And seeing him in this, I was like, is he gonna bring that same like over the topness, or is he gonna dial it back and really have that nuance, which you really did?
No, yeah, it was like when his first scene, when he's like the Copa, he's at the Copa or whatever, and he's like, Tammy, is my love, and like pulls the mic stand falls and everything. I was like, I feel the awkwardness is palpable. This is unfortunate. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I didn't expect that this was gonna be my favorite. Like I said, character, but I mean, they're real people. I feel like this movie, I don't know if they do this in play either, but like this movie made like the real people's digestible palates that you can eat. You know what I mean? Like they felt like they took the real people and then made them like characters. That way it's easier to digest. I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. I just mean, I think all these people are kind of so intricate that it would be too much of like a big jumbled muddled mess if they like completely encapsulated everything about that person. No. So they kind of made almost like representations of the characters, which I think is kind of smart.
They took each character in this specific moment in time. Or was Sam Cooke like as this mainstream star who's kind of like made enough money where he can like have a like studio and stuff like that, have a recording studio and stuff like that. And Malcolm, where he's afraid, he kind of feels like he has a target on his back. Yeah,
I like that they kind of showed like the fact that, you know, I feel like a lot of the times people who don't really know the story just kind of like have heard about it. Everyone just is like, oh, you stoic guy or that. Like, no, like you have a wife and kids. You'd be pretty scared if everybody just wanted to kill you. Like, you don't need, like, think about it. FBI, probably CIA, Nation of Islam. Everyone wanted to kill this guy. Like, so the whole movie, like, he has the two bodyguards essentially that just like stand outside his hotel, and like it almost feels like there's like something foreboding sometimes.
Muhammad Ali, played by Eli Gorey. Oh, and Malcolm X, played by Kingsley Ben-Adir.
And who plays Jim Brown? He was in Straight Outta Compton. Aldous Hodge. I think he was in Straight Outta Compton, and he's an Invisible Man.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've seen that movie, but he plays like the friend. Yeah. The friend's house that she goes to. So I've seen him in a few things now.
But Muhammad Ali is, well, Cassius Clay in this film. It's right as he's like going into the Nation of Islam, and you feel his young energy. He's 24.
22, I think.
22. And he's just like, you can feel the young energy coming off of him, being like, present. A lot of the other characters in this feel grizzled, and he is still very much like trying to find his way.
Yeah, he's the youthful young Padawan.
Like us.
It's like, even didn't Jim Brown, like, he was like at one point like telling a story, and got really excited and started like jumping on like his bed. And Jim Brown's like, are you a giant baby? Like, what are you doing?
With playing Muhammad Ali, I feel like you get a little bit like you're doing a caricature.
Yeah.
And he did not. He did not feel like he was doing that.
He didn't like, I like the fact that he didn't go like, I'm going to try and spot on impression this. It's close enough that you know who he is, like what he's doing, and you believe that he is this version of that person. But it's like not so like, I'm going to try and nail it spot on, because I feel like you can't with Muhammad Ali, just in general. I feel like that's a really hard thing to do. To perfectly just like encapsulate him. So I like I said, the same way that they wrote the characters. It's like, this is like them in this moment. We're not going to try and give you like cram 4 people and try to give you every single nuance about every single person, because there's not even going to be a movie if we did that.
But I loved all the acting. I've only seen it once, so maybe I didn't catch some things that you did. The intrigue of talking about like, what does it mean to be supporting your culture and your people in this day and age.
Yeah, because they all kind of have importance to the civil rights movement in like different ways, and it's kind of like their differences kind of collide, but they're on the same side, so it's very interesting.
Give a rating.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna get my clappies. They're right there. So what are you giving?
No, you start. I'm still trying to
me?
figure myself out over here.
So here's my rating for the movie, just in case you're curious. I would give it a 4 out of 5 slates. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, yeah.
I thought you were gonna go high on that.
I do really like it, but I feel like that's an 80%. I feel like that's about where I put it. It has me intrigued to see more from Regina King.
Yes, the directing was amazing. The acting was amazing. There were some parts that I felt like, but we were hanging with the characters and it was really interesting. But there were still some parts where I was like, I'm not sure if this is entirely necessary and maybe we should have focused it somewhere else that could have been more.
See, that's my only complaint with the movie is sometimes I feel like it dragged a little bit. Like it was still entertaining and the interactions were still interesting because I could honestly, it's like watching like the Avengers interact. Like I could watch these people interact with each other without doing anything really in particular for a whole movie. But I feel like sometimes I was like, let's go back to that other conversation because it's getting in, like that's getting pretty interesting over there and we're kind of here for a second. So
yeah, they're kind of just like, sometimes they're just chilling in this hotel room and you're like, okay, like I feel like it's dragging a little bit. So I guess for the dragging a little bit and the fact that I think you might need to know a good amount about Malcolm X before coming into this movie to really appreciate it, I think I'll give it.
I feel like it helps to know a bit about Sam Cooke too.
Yeah, I watched the Sam Cooke documentary as well on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, actually, kind of everybody, now that I think about it. Like, you don't have to be a scholar, but it helps to know a little bit.
See, I didn't know anything about Jim Brown.
Okay, yeah.
And thus, coming out of it, I felt like I connected with this character the least.
I did know about Jim Brown. Like, I say that like, oh, I know about him. No, like, I know who Jim Brown is, and I understand his importance and everything. And I personally connected with his character, at least. I don't even think it's like a you have to know his story type thing. I think there was just more. He was kind of like a mediator.
Yeah, he was definitely a mediator.
So it's not even. I think you connect with the other ones because they're so strongly on like one side. You know what I mean?
But when he's talking about being in a movie, I have no idea what movie he's talking about. And when he's talking, I didn't even know what team he was on in football. There was something about him like running a bunch of yards, so I guess he's a running back. But like I didn't know anything. But I still liked a lot of what he was saying when he had that conversation with Malcolm X.
We'll talk about it in spoilers because I guess I would love to talk about that, but I don't want to give it away.
After this long-winded conversation, I'm going to say I will give it the same rating. 4 slates.
4
out of 5.
4 slates out of 5. 4 slates. Monk. All right, yeah. I feel like that's a fair rating. All right, everybody. That concludes this episode of Babbling
with the boys.
My name is Spencer Chef, and my question to the viewers is, what is your favorite film with a black cast? I don't think anyone ever comments, but you know what? Comment in the comment section of the YouTube video. Find us on Instagram and Facebook at Babbling with Boys spelled with a Z, and let us know. I'm just curious.
I'm Carson Gervais. Eat all of the chocolate you want, and you know what? Stay spicy.
Spicy.